morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 10, and lesson 10 is my thoughts do not mean anything. And by the way, please subscribe. My thoughts do not mean anything. And now if you're going to say, well, that sounds familiar, of course it does, because lesson 4 was these thoughts do not mean anything. But as I said then, I interchange between my thoughts and these thoughts, even with that lesson. Because I believe it's very important to take ownership of my thoughts as soon as possible. It is only in taking the ownership of my thoughts that I am in the position to really release them, realizing that they are not my true thoughts. So, my thoughts do not mean anything. This lesson says this idea applies to all the thoughts of which you are aware or become aware in the practice periods. The reason the idea is applicable to all of them is that they are not your real thoughts. We have made this distinction before, lesson 4, and we'll do so again. Again, this is a major idea. It's going to come back to us in a different form, said differently, different verbiage, but it's the same idea. Again, it's part of the constancy and consistency of this course. You have no basis for comparison as yet. When you do, you will have no doubt that what you once believed were your thoughts did not mean anything. This is a stripping away. Remember, our mind is untrained and will remain so for a great portion of this year. What you find out, what all of us find out, is as we repeat these lessons, this workbook lesson, it's not supposed to be done once and, it's not a one and done, because there are so many layers of our mind that need to be released, peeled away, exposed to the light. So, the second time around, there are comments of people who are doing this now, the second and the third time, some of them with me, some of them new, but they are seeing a difference in the meaning and how the lessons feel so much deeper, because they are. So as this lesson goes on to say, this is the second time that we've had this. But then it says the emphasis is now on the lack of reality of what you think you think. I love that line. What I think I think. I think I'm thinking about this. But what the Course tells me is I'm really not thinking about anything. This lesson also mentions again that this is merely another way of repeating our earlier statement that your mind is really a blank. That was from lesson number 8. Recognizing that your mind has been merely blank rather than believing that it is filled with real ideas is the first step to opening the way to vision. That's a really important statement. Vision is not seeing with the body eyes. Vision is where we want to go, to be able to see with Christ's vision, to see with light. And in seeing with light, we see light. We see the light in everyone and everything around us, which means we see how we are connected to it. This lesson goes on and it says, again, that your mind is really a blank. To recognize this is to recognize nothingness when you think you see it. As such, it's the prerequisite for vision. Again, vision. That's where we want to go. To do the exercises, it's 5 times a day, roughly a minute each time. Tells us to close our eyes and sort of imagine a parade of things just going by. And it can be like the Ringling Brothers circus parade that used to happen. And you say, I seem to be thinking about, okay? My thought about elephants don't mean anything. My thought about clown cars do not mean anything. My thought about fear does not mean anything. My thought about that person does not mean anything. We want to come to the space of being released from all of our current thoughts that are small, they're minuscule, they're contracted. And what we find out is they're really keeping us a prisoner of our own thoughts. When I realize that my varied thoughts about so many things are hindering my growth and my ability to have vision, my ability to be in peace, now I will come to the recognition that these thoughts, my thoughts, do not mean anything, and I am ready to release them. So I will come into real ease. You'll hear that again and again. So let's go into real ease with the recognition that my thoughts about fill in the blank does not mean anything. And this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. That's it for today. I hope this helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please pray. Again, prayers are always answered because they already have been. It's our recognition. There's that lag time. We have sort of prayer lag instead of jet lag, okay? Be well, be happy. Please be here tomorrow. Namaste.